6:45 a.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by J. Yogaraj and read by Mario Vijayawardena. The headlines. The President conferred with the Sri Lanka Dishwara Padma Vibhushana. Health authorities warn no kisses or embraces to welcome office mates today. The Agriculture Minister clarifies conditions to compensate farmers for crop damage. The retail prices of potatoes and big onions have now been reduced at the local market. In the coronavirus update, 339 new cases reported in Sri Lanka yesterday. The implementation of making vaccine cards mandatory for the general public has been delayed due to concerns raised by several parties. In news overseas, Sudan coup, Prime Minister Abdallah Hamdok resigns after mass protests. In sports news, Barcelona moved to within a point of fourth place in the Spanish La Liga table with victory at Mallorca. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has been bestowed with the honorary title of Sri Lanka Dishwara Padma Vibhushana by the Kotte Sri Kalyani Samagri Dharma Mahasangha Sabha while invoking the blessings of the Mahasangha. The Kotte Sri Kalyani Samagri Dharma Mahasangha Sabha conferred this honorary title on the President during a special religious ceremony organized at the Kotte Rajamahavihare, symbolizing the need of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa's leadership for the motherland as well as considering the unblemished past and present deeds of the President, the PMD reported. After reading the relevant Sannas Patre, the Mahanayaka of the Kotte Sri Kalyani Samagri Dharma Mahasangha Sabha, Most Venerable Dr. Ittapana Dharmalankara Mahanayaka Thero, conferred the honorary title of Sri Lanka Dishwara Padma Vibhushana on President Rajapaksa. The welcome address was delivered by the Deputy Registrar of the Sangha Sabha, the Acting Vice-Chancellor of the Buddhist and Pali University of Sri Lanka, Venerable Professor Neluve Sumanavansa Thero. The Chief Secretary of the Kotte Sri Kalyani Samagri Mahasangha Sabha, Head of the Department of Pali and Buddhist Studies of the University of Peradeniya, Agga Mahapandita, Most Venerable Professor Kottapitiya Rahul Anunayaka Thero, delivering the main sermon, said that the blessings of the Mahasangha will be conferred on the President to build the country properly, managing the remaining 3 years as there is still more time left. When there is a success, there are many people to share it, but when an attempt fails miserably, the blame falls on the leader himself. Most Venerable Professor Kottapitiya Rahul Anunayaka Thero said that this was a normal situation and wished the President strength to build the country in the future bravely while facing bitter experiences in politics. The Kotte Sri Kalyani Samagri Dharma Mahasangha Sabha Mahanayaka Most Venerable Ittapane Dhammalankara Thero, who conducted the main sermon, said that the awarding of this blessed honorary title would add a great strength and power to the life of the President. The Thero said that he would always ensure to give the blessings, strength and courage of the Mahasangha to the President. The Mahasangha, Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa, Speaker Mahinda Yapa Abewardena, Cabinet Ministers, Governors, Ministers of State, Members of Parliament, Ambassadors, Secretaries to Ministries and government officials were also present at the event. The Deputy Director General of Health Services, Dr. Hemantha Herath, warns that employees should not kiss, hug and eat together in small enclosed areas today. All government workplaces are set to start work for the new year from today. He said they should strictly follow all the health guidelines issued by the government and the Health Ministry to prevent the spread of COVID-19. He told a media briefing at the Health Promotion Bureau in Colombo that employees usually kiss and hug to wish one another and celebrate the commencement of work for the new year. He requests the employees to wish their office mates according to the traditional Sri Lankan way without kissing and hugging. He also said they should not remove their masks, sit together to eat. He informed that no institution should let all the employees gather at the same time in an enclosed area and have food, and he added that it is important to educate the employees about COVID-19 prevention through a lecture or some educational programs on the first working day of the new year. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Sri Lanka Insurance Motor Plus, the best option.
The Agriculture Minister Mahindananda Aluthgamage issued a clarification with regard to the government's plans to compensate the country's farmers for crop damage. Responding to questions from journalists regarding the matter, he said that compensation will only be paid after observing and making sure that the farmers have used organic fertilizer provided by the government. He said that the government initially provided farmers with solid organic fertilizer, then they were provided liquid biofertilizer, potassium chloride, and currently nano-nitrogen is being distributed. The Agriculture Minister reiterated that compensation will be provided only to the farmers who have used all 4 types of fertilizer. Quote, "We will only give compensation if the farmer has incurred a drop in production after using all 4 fertilizers," unquote, he said, adding, "A government can't give compensation if a farmer is just waiting with his mouth open without using any of these." Replying to a question regarding the President's recent comments on the lack of support from other institutions for the Green Agriculture Project, the Minister said that even he agrees that the support from the officials of his ministry was not sufficient. The Health Ministry says that another 339 persons have tested positive for COVID-19 yesterday. This includes 3 persons who arrived from overseas according to latest figures. The total number of coronavirus cases confirmed in the country rises to 587,935 with this, while approximately 11,967 infected patients are currently undergoing treatment. Meanwhile, the official death toll since the start of the pandemic surpassed 15,000 after 24 more COVID-19 related deaths were confirmed yesterday.
In 200 meters, turn left.
This is not just my daily commute. I drive to power my nation's future.
Sri Lanka Insurance Motor Plus introduces specialized motor insurance for you who drive our nation forward. Choose tailor-made insurance solutions, up to 75,000 rupees claim settlements within 3 working hours, exclusive discounts through Motor Plus loyalty rewards, easy and 0% interest payment plans.
Only from Sri Lanka Insurance.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Retail prices of the potatoes and big onions have now been reduced at the local market. Our correspondent said it was due to the reduction of the special commodity levy on those items. They added that have witnessed it in the PETA and many local trade outlets selling essential commodities. The Ministry of Finance took measures to reduce the levy by 30 rupees with effect from midnight last Friday. The decision has been taken following instructions issued by President Gotabaya Rajapaksa.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
And now in Watchlight, health authorities have requested the public to follow health guidelines strictly as the coronavirus infections crossed the 500 mark for the last few weeks. Although it was observed that there was a sharp drop in the coronavirus infections during the last few days, that cannot be taken for granted, the health authorities warned. The Director General of the Health Services, Dr. Asela Gunawardena, said that it is a high risk for the public to get involved with large gatherings or get-togethers. He requests the public to refrain from travelling between the provinces. He points out that 600 to 750 coronavirus patients are still being reported daily from the country. Therefore, he emphasises that the pandemic can spread rapidly again if the public acts irresponsibly. In world news headlines, Sudan coup Prime Minister Abdullah Hamdok resigns after mass protests. South Africa Parliament man arrested over massive fire. Colorado wildfire, 2 people remain missing and presumed dead. Sudan's Prime Minister Abdullah Hamdok has announced his resignation just weeks after he was reinstated in a controversial deal with the military. The army seized power in October and put Mr. Hamdok under house arrest, but he was reinstated following a power-sharing deal with the coup's leader. Protesters rejected the deal, demanding an entirely civilian political rule. His resignation followed another day of protests, where medics said at least 2 were killed. A man has been arrested after a large fire severely damaged the Houses of Parliament in the South African city of Cape Town. A police spokesperson said the man was facing charges of arson, housebreaking and theft and would appear in court tomorrow. Firefighters had been working for hours to extinguish the blaze. President Cyril Ramaphosa called it a terrible and devastating event as he vowed Parliament's work would continue. 2 people remain missing after a devastating wildfire hit the central U.S. state of Colorado. One of the missing was a 91-year-old woman whose family had been trapped by the incoming flames, local media say. The blaze swept through several towns, destroying hundreds of homes and forcing thousands of people to flee. Boulder County Sheriff Joe Pell had said it was unlikely any of the missing would be found alive. But one person had now been found safe and well. And now the main points of the World News segment once again. Sudan coup. Prime Minister Abdullah Hamdok resigns after mass protests. South Africa Parliament. Man arrested over massive fire. Colorado wildfire. 2 people remain missing and presumed dead.
Development News is brought to you by Let's take coal out of the coconut tree and make the island thriving and prosperous. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
The Cabinet has decided to provide permission to plant coconuts in all barren paddy lands that are no longer growing paddy. Environment Minister Mahinda Amaravira says that there are a large number of barren paddy lands island-wide which are no longer used for paddy cultivation. He said that there is a shortage of coconut lands in the country at present. Plans have also been made to grant financial allowance for the coconut farmers.
Development News was brought to you by the coconut tree is well grown in almost all the parts of the island. It is an exceptional source of extra income. The shell, the husk and almost all the parts of the coconut tree makes you money, providing you with an excellent extra source of income. It will also help to nourish the economy of the country. You will be guided with all necessary informations regarding the coconut cultivation, with the novel cultivation techniques and all other related and upgraded informations by the Coconut Research Institute, Lunavilla. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
And now in sports news, in soccer, Barcelona moved to within a point of 4th place in the Spanish La Liga table with victory at Mallorca. Luke de Jong scored the winning goal with a header at the back post in the first half from Oscar Mingueza's cross. Xavi's side, who were without a number of first-team players because of COVID injuries, dominated for large periods but were often frustrated. Jong was the main threat, hitting the woodwork twice in the first half, including once with a bicycle kick.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Buoyed on by a steady increase in tourist arrivals, destination Sri Lanka with confidence presents the country's tourism offer in full force at the Expo 2020 Dubai on Sri Lanka Day today, Monday, January 3rd at 9 p.m. local time. Sri Lanka is seeing a steady revival of visitor arrivals due to a very successful vaccination program. Highly commended by the World Health Organization operating on health guidelines formulated by experts, Sri Lanka has seen a steady decline in COVID-19 infections, with over 85% of the eligible population from Sri Lanka's 21.9 million being vaccinated, and the administering of booster Pfizer vaccines as well underway, with travel industry persons given priority, said the Tourism Minister Prasanna Ranatunga.
Business News, sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Economic news, courtesy of...
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
The Ceylon Shipping Corporation plans to operate a container feeder service between Colombo and Bangladesh, and this will be followed by a second service between Colombo and Oman. Ceylon Shipping Corporation CSC Chairman Sudhammika Vinendra, speaking to Daily News Business, said that they have already approved an MOU with the Attorney General to be signed with the Bangladeshi Shipping Corporation soon. In addition, we have successfully had talks with the Omani ambassador in Sri Lanka to launch a feeder service from Colombo to Oman for containers and cargo as well. He said that they plan to hire 2 container ships that could carry around 1,000 to 1,500 TEUs to launch this operation. Quote, "We will soon be calling for REPs in this regard," unquote.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
And now for the weather report. The Met Department says mainly fair weather will prevail over most parts of the island. Misty conditions can be expected in the western, Sabaragamuwa, central, southern and Uva provinces during the morning. This weather report was issued this morning at 4:30 a.m. Further details could be obtained by visiting the official website of the department. Meanwhile, the international weather forecast website AccuWeather.com reports that the day's weather will be bright with occasional showers. Today's daytime temperature would be around 31 degrees Celsius. There will be light showers in many places in the Colombo district in the night. Tonight's temperature will be around 24 degrees Celsius and there will be scattered showers in select spots late in the night. The ground temperature would be 25 degrees Celsius at the time of this news broadcast. The air quality index AQI is 33, which shows a fair condition in Colombo. The air quality is generally acceptable for most individuals. However, sensitive groups may experience minor to moderate symptoms from long-term exposure. That was the weather report, and now the headlines of this news broadcast once again. The President conferred with the Sri Lanka Dishwara Padma Vibhushana. Health authorities warn no kisses or embraces to welcome office mates today. The Agriculture Minister clarifies conditions to compensate farmers for crop damage. The retail prices of potatoes and big onions have now been reduced at the local market. In the coronavirus update, 339 new cases reported in Sri Lanka yesterday. The implementation of making vaccine cards mandatory for the general public has been delayed due to concerns raised by several parties. In news overseas, Sudan coup Prime Minister Abdullah Hamdok resigns after mass protests. In sports news, Barcelona moved to within a point of 4th place in the Spanish La Liga table with victory at Mallorca. That concludes this news broadcast.